and this is Sea Life.
Welcome back to our channel. We're going to get started and we're going to make a special mushroom sauce to go over our meatballs for our special dinner, and it'll be meatballs with mushroom sauce today. So I've got a quart pan, or a little over a quart pan, and so the first thing to do is
1/4 cup plus a tablespoon plus a teaspoon of butter. We already got it.
a heaping 1/4 cup of butter.
And we're going to heat the butter over medium heat
Okay,
until frothy.
here we go.
Medium.
I'm going to start it up a little bit high and then turn it down. That butter's just slowly melting, and we're going to bring it kind of, it's going to kind of boil. And I can't wait. So the sauce takes about an hour, it says. And I was like, wow, that's a long time for a sauce. But it has to condense a lot. This is a recipe, I believe we got this recipe from Chef John. And so here we go. And the next thing is, of course, your mushrooms. And I should have had 2 more cans of mushrooms because you really want
It says
like 16 ounces, but
16-ounce total sliced mushrooms.
so I'm just winging it with what I have.
8, so we got about half.
Half of the amount, yeah.
And then add some salt to that too.
So now my salt to taste is usually about like that. And then I just throw it in. Okay. And I'm going to turn this heat down because I should have had it down a little.
Okay, now you're going to simmer it until liquid evaporates. It says about 20 minutes. So simmer. Over a medium heat, you're going to simmer it?
Okay, let's turn it down.
You're going the wrong way. There you go.
There we go. To about 2. Till the liquid evaporates. Okay, now you want the liquid to totally evaporate, and so I'm going to have Daniel show you what's happening in the pan. And then we won't bore you with the remaining probably 15 minutes of boiling. This should take about 20 minutes. It says. That's what the recipe says. This should take 20 minutes.
That looks pretty good, though. But yeah, it's still pretty watery.
Let's see.
Again.
See. I like to try to show you. Well, we're waiting on the sauce. I'm going to have Daniel making some breadcrumbs up. If you don't have breadcrumbs that you have bought from the store, this is an easy way to do it. You just take some pieces of toast, let them sit out for a little while after you've toasted them, and use your shredder and shred you some breadcrumbs. That's pretty good, hun. They don't have to be perfect. These are just breadcrumbs for meatballs. So, you can have some chunks. It's okay. We're getting quite a few breadcrumbs this way. That's actually plenty of breadcrumbs. I think so, honey.
I'm almost done.
So as soon as you're done. And then Daniel's also taken the garlic and the onion and what was it, 1 whole onion?
Yeah, an onion and 4
tablespoons of garlic.
Minced garlic.
You know we love garlic, right? So I'm throwing that in. We're kind of moving back and forth from the meatballs and the sauce. So we're back at the sauce. and this is reduced quite a bit. It's not totally, the liquid's not totally gone, but we think this is pretty good, and it was popping a lot, so we just turned the heat all the way off and just let it kind of, you know, go ahead and do its thing. Now we're going to turn that heat on just a tad bit, like on the low. And
medium.
so how much we're going to add flour to this?
It's a heaping 1/4 cup.
So yeah, okay. So we're going to start very slowly adding this in.
Stir it in.
Very slowly, I'm sure, because with any gravy and grease, you start very slowly adding your starch into it, whether it's flour or cooking starch or whatever it may be. And it's thickening very nice already. And you always, we always add in the starch before the liquids, like the chicken broth. And today we're using chicken broth instead of beef. That's just what we had on hand. Now beef would have probably been even better because we are making beef meatballs. So.
Okay, now it says stir for about 5 minutes.
Okay, we stirred it up pretty good. It looks great. It's time to start adding in.
So you're going to add in 1 cup.
1 cup of broth, and you're going to stir that in slowly.
And stirring briskly until it's incorporated.
I may turn that heat up just a little. I'm going to. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Here we go. I'm going to go at 4. And here we go. And what you want to do is just slowly add it in till it's all, and then I'm going to go ahead and stir it all in really, really good. Well, try not to splash.
I know.
Right. And if you ask me, that looks great. What else goes in this, Daniel?
The remaining stock.
Okay. Now it calls for a quart of stock. So I put the first cup in.
That's just to keep
And then now what you're going to do is take the whole thing in.
You can probably dump that in quicker.
And here we go. A little bit quicker. And
Now pepper and thyme.
so pepper, and it says fresh thyme, 1 1/3 pinch. Okay, well, we're just gonna put about that much in.
Looks great.
Okay, and I'm just gonna roll it between my hands like that. A little bit of pepper.
Thyme's over there too.
And you know what? I'm not gonna use thyme. You know what I'm gonna use is I've got fresh basil. So I'm gonna go chop some fresh basil and put in this. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little knife and chop my basil real quick. Just give them a little chop. I might turn them the other way too. And just give them a little chop that way.
Thyme's starting to grow up there.
Yep, but I have so much basil. My basil plants did really, really well this year. So that adds my fresh herb to the sauce. I'm just going to put it right in and whisk it. Give it a little whisk. And then now what's going to happen, Daniel?
Reduce it. Just
now
leave it on for about, how long did it say?
Now it reduces for a long time, about 30 minutes. So we're going to set our timer.
Because it needs to simmer.
Yeah, you want it to simmer, right?
Yeah.
So about,
that probably works.
About 4 seems to be doing pretty good. Okay, we're going to try this egg. Yep, that egg is good. That's beautiful. No problems.
So there's a reason that we crack our eggs into cups.
Yeah. And I am using a recipe that I've used before for these meatballs from a cook named Shelly. And okay, I put my eggs into my breadcrumbs and got my breadcrumbs in there. And there was about 4 pieces of toast, grated up. We're going to put the Parmesan, which is a half cup of Parmesan. Okay, I am going to eyeball this. That's pretty good. I got a half cup of Parmesan. And I'm cutting that into my breadcrumbs and everything. And then I need some milk, a half cup of milk. And 2 cloves of garlic. A half cup of milk. Okay. We have a half cup measure hanging here. I'm just going to do a half a cup of milk. About more wonderful garlic. I've got about 4 tablespoons of garlic here. 1 heaping tablespoons. 3 and 4. Okay. Now then, let's see what else. Okay. Italian season. Okay, I need some Italian seasoning. So let me run around and go get that. And I'm surprised I'm not seeing any salt. Fresh parsley or basil, of course. I'm gonna skip out on the parsley and just do Italian seasoning. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a good half a lid of that Italian seasoning. And then I'm going to put a little bit of salt. And that's when I'm going to start mixing in my hamburger. Rolling the Italian seasoning into the bread as well. I'm going to put a little pinch of salt. And I'm going to start opening and putting in my hamburger. But okay, my meat mixture is just about ready. And my sauce mixture is over there just simmering away. So that's good. And I've got about 10 more minutes for that sauce mixture. So I can easily get these meatballs mixed up and in the oven. I need to grease my pan. Daniel, could you hand me the olive oil spray? Yeah. Put put some olive oil in there. Okay, he's done my pan, and I'm just gonna give it some love and rub it all over with the other hand here that I've got, that I didn't mix up with the meat. Now it's time to make some good sized meatballs. I'm just gonna start really working them. I kind of wanted Salisbury steak, but then I just, decided I'd really rather have Salisbury meatballs. So the mushroom mixture for that sauce sounded so good. I said, yeah, it's time to try some of that. That sounds really good. Okay, you guys, these hefty meatballs are going in. In they go. So we've traded burners, and this sauce over here is still simmering, and we're starting the water to boil with a little bit of oil and salt, just something we always do, for our fettuccine. And what we're gonna do is wait until this water is rolling, boiling, and then add in that fettuccine. You need to keep your eye on this sauce, is what we found, because you want it to just simmer. You don't want it to boil, so you need to keep your eye on it. We've had to adjust our stove 2 or 3 times to different heats. So, and we found that about low is really good.
Yeah, I think when I still had it over here, I had it on 2.2, which is...
Yeah, 2.0, 2.2 is really about right for that sauce. Okay, so my water is at a rolling boil. I'm going to start taking this. I take my noodles right out the pack, and I generally break them just like that and just drop them in. Okay, I think we're going to let this sauce go just a little longer. We're trying to thicken it up a little bit more. We should have set our timer for the meatballs. So I'm setting the timer for 15 minutes.